I know what you're thinking. The Game of Thrones series is over. Season 8 has come and gone. We got 6 more than an hour long episodes, give or take, right? Um, I'll tell you, I know I'm late with this and I might get some criticism, and it's been a while. But I wanted everything to pass and I wanted to see what other people thought and talk to a few people and get some opinions. I gotta tell you, I mean, season 7 wasn't that strong, and season 8 kind of, was a letdown. I mean, I know HBO wanted it done, and I know it was most likely, from what I saw, it looked like it was rushed. And I mean, I know they do what they got to do, and HBO is big time, and they have all these programs coming. You have to rush it. You got to rush it. Unfortunately, for fans like myself, we were not happy with the last product. I know a petition went around, to rewrite season 8 with competent writers, which is kind of harsh, but hey, it's everybody's opinion. I can sit here for hours and talk about the whole season, but I'm just gonna go into some quick details here. A few reasons why it didn't meet expectations. So first and foremost, we waited over a year, right? A year goes by, so basically almost 2 years, kinda. We waited almost 2 years for the last season because supposedly HBO wanted it to be perfect, And hey, I grew up on HBO. If they did what they had to do, I'm sure it wasn't personal. I'm sure it was business. I get it. Unfortunately, we, the fans, kind of wound up paying, like the short end of the stick. Like when WWE, and Mr. McMahon, with all due respect, books a bad show, and then ratings is plundering for Raw and SmackDown. I'm a loyal fan with WWE, but the product just hasn't been what it should have been. It just hasn't been what you want it to be, and you miss those days, and it's disappointing with that. But that's a different video for another time. So Game of Thrones. So me and my friends are waiting, and we're waiting. We're talking about it. You see the previews. If you live in New York, there's Hidden Thrones in New York City all over the place. If you're lucky, you found one. Rockefeller sent out a whole big thing, so we're happy. We're having a good time, and I'm ready. I'm ready. I enjoy it. So we're celebrating. We got this very nice, elegant Johnny White Walker to honor the show that came out around Christmas time. Very nice vanilla liquor. If you freeze it, there's a hidden message on the side of the bottle. Only $45, so I'm sitting here with my boys, and we're enjoying that. We're gonna have a good time. And so the episode 1 of season 8. All right. Yeah, Jon comes back, and Daenerys, and they're ready to do some damage, and Cersei's still the big bad, and Arya's the faceless one hiding out, whatever, and yeah. So, setup episode. We get it. A few things here and there. But as the episodes kept going on, I noticed things were missing. You could see things are being rushed. What is his name? Lord Varys, whatever that guy's name was. The bald dude, right? I get the names mixed up. Forgive me. If you're a hardcore Game of Thrones fans, forgive me. I'm old. I'm 43. I forget things, alright? Was it Lord Varys? So, I'm seeing these episodes arc that he has like no plan. They want to say Jon Snow's the heir and all this other stuff, but I don't know, he's supposed to be like this mastermind. Him and Tyrion make this plan to take out Daenerys or take out Cersei, but nothing is done, and he gets executed, and what happened to Lord Varys, and that was it for him. My point being that, yeah, things were, it looked like it was a little rushed, and, I would have kept him alive at least 2 more episodes. But as we're going, we're drinking, and we're seeing these things just aren't going like they should, and, all of a sudden, Jon Snow, we find out the big secret, he's the heir, and we knew that, season 7. Season 8, they tell him, boom. But, for some reason, it didn't, I don't know why. I don't know if it was the writing or because it was rushed. I personally did not feel pumped up by that. Yeah, he knows now. Take over. I didn't feel that at all. And I'm there with my friends and my cousin, and we're like, all right, is he gonna tell her? Is he gonna keep? Wow, that's his aunt, and Daenerys is his aunt. Wow, that's kind of messed up. And they have a relationship, and okay. So the season is going, and I'm seeing a lot of rushed things. I'm seeing very little, like, it's almost like Jon Snow got put in the background, like he's the curtain jerker in the opening match, as it were. Because what I remember, the past 7 seasons, Jon Snow is the man. He gets killed, he comes back, he's going to take over everything. And we're looking at this, just like a humble guy, he's sitting there, oh, I don't want to be the king, and it's not my, I'm the heir, but I don't want it, and, Then there's that big, awesome Night King, and, the big bad Night King, we all got to unite. Cersei lies, and all this, and, okay. So as we proceed to episodes down the line, episode 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever, 2, 3, whatever it is, So we finished one. First two episodes, 2.5 episodes. It's pretty good, you know. I mean, nothing great. Maybe the big battle will be it. So buy another one. We're gonna have us a good time, man. The big fight scene, episode 3, 4, whatever it was. I don't remember, guys. It's been a while. Big fight's coming. The Night King is gonna get his, man. It is all over for this dude, man. Oh. So they amp up the episode. They get ready, and I'm not gonna lie. In episode 2 or 3, before that big battle, you know, forgive me if my numbers are mixed up. It's been a while. Because I mean, I loved the show and I read the books long time ago. I may not be a hardcore fan like the rest of you are, so don't take no offense to me if I get the episodes mixed up. I'm old after all. I'm 43. Don't forget that. So yeah, I did enjoy before the big fight that campfire scene. They're all sitting there getting drunk. Oh, you need to drink and this and that, and it's really cool. And but the thing that blew my mind, Jaime Lannister, he's this evil dude. What he did to Bran all the way back all those years ago, and so years and years later, he sees Bran again in the wheelchair. Bran's a third-eyed raven, and Jaime looks at him. They stare at each other. But that's it. So we take a shot. He's not going to curse, well, Bran's not going to curse, but he's not going to say anything witty, prediction, anything? Guess not. So Jaime is a welcome ally, because he knew Cersei was going to go back on her word. That's his sister/lover for many years. But, okay. I thought there might be some more development there, but again, my opinion as to why I think it was rushed. They could have done a little more with Bran and Jaime. I could have probably dedicated a whole episode to, Bran and Jaime after what happened, but I think they said a few words, and Bran told them, whatever you hear, whatever, fine. So before the big battle, the campfire scene is really cool. Nice, See, me and my boys, we do that still to this day. Maybe not a campfire, but we do sit around in a circle, and we have a few shots, a few drinks, and we talk, reminisce, whatever it is, plan ahead. My boys are watching this, I love you guys, and I'm looking forward to seeing you again real soon. So that was probably my favorite scene, maybe the whole season, honestly, because honestly, they amp up this big battle, and there it is. Here's the battle. There's zombie dragons running around. Jon's trying to get to the Night King. Arya's lurking around. People are getting smacked around. Some Daenerys' personal bodyguard, Jara, I believe his name was. I actually felt bad when they took him out. He was, I liked him a lot. He was a real cool character. What he went through, man. All that crazy episode with the skin. Ooh. You remember that episode, man? Wicked. Why, they had to rip that plague, whatever they said he had. Why they didn't win the special effects for that is beyond me. Because that looked realistic to me, and I was like, and I'm watching that. There was a couple of years ago, I'm like, damn, you don't forget things like that. You don't. You just don't. So he's gone, and then, battles are being fought, and I'm alright. But I kind of, after all the build-up, just like I said, Jon Snow became like a opening match guy, I mean, I really wanted, and I can't be the only one that feels this way, I really wanted Jon Snow to one-on-one fight the Night King, and whatever happens, happens, Honestly, the Jon Snow character, they kind of like, for this whole season, in my opinion, like I said, guys, all my personal opinion, just what I saw. You saw what I saw. He just became, after all the build-up, and he gets killed, and he comes back, he's just like a background guy, he's the opening match guy. He's doing the backstage interview with nothing to do, I mean, yeesh. I really kind of wanted that one-on-one fight, and if Jon wouldn't have made it, then so be it, and I would have been upset if they got Jon, if he got killed, but, I actually would have been alright if Jon Snow lost and I got the Night King from behind, and that would have been it. It would have bitten because we would have lost Jon Snow, but the way it turned out anyway, I mean, honestly, the way Jon Snow went out in the end and all that stuff that happened, I think he might have been better off getting killed by the zombie dragon or the Night King, honestly. I think Jon Snow really got jobbed. Jobs meaning just like pin me, pay me type thing. I think Jon Snow became like a minor character after all the years of build-up, and you want to focus on Arya, and Arya kills the Night King, which I loved. I love her, one of my favorite characters, in the series, next to Jon Snow, next to Jara. Yeah, and that's it, and then they do their things, and the Night King is dead. So, next up, Cersei. Currently a little villain rotation from Night King to Cersei, right? Alright, so they go there, and Cersei is killing people, and she murders Missandei to tick off Daenerys, and it worked. And You know, Tyrion, the whole dialogue scene with Tyrion and her, and the way it goes down, not really pumped up for this. After the big fight happened, I wasn't pumped up. You know, I wholly expected Daenerys to get some payback, but to rush her into being the Mad Queen, as it were, that whole thing with Daenerys, you know, killing people she loved, Yara, Missandei, and other things going on, and the Grey Worm and her loyal soldiers, the Unsullied and all that, and the Dothraki, who apparently, from what I saw, have unlimited spawn points. I mean, the Dothraki and the Unsullied, all these battles, and supposedly they lost a lot of them, but they were still there. It's like they kept spawning over and over, like an unlimited army. It's really weird. In my opinion, it looked weird to me. Unlimited resources. Alright, cool, whatever. But she loses Yara and Missandei, and, you know, she loses her dragon as well, you know, to get him in the water, which I don't get how he's flying over the water. Rhaegal, was it? You know, if I'm wrong, forgive me. And so she's flying over the water. Rhaegal's awesome, and she doesn't see this dude with the bow and arrow from a distance. I thought the whole point of a dragon was to see it. You don't see that coming, and he gets caught. I'm sorry, little, is it unrealistic or rushed? I don't know, you guys have to tell me. I didn't like that dragon being jobbed out. Jobs just pin me, pay me, sit there and you lose, you lay down, take the fall. I didn't like that job out. I thought maybe a bigger fight, take out a few boats, he goes down fighting, I would have thought. That's why I believe, again, it was rushed. So we see that, and Missandei bites it, and you see Daenerys slipping out and flipping out, but where's this going? And Jon Snow's like, you don't hear from him. You know, Daenerys is the focus, and that's fine. But you're kind of hoping Jon Snow will take over. So even me, my boys, and my cousin were like, we're drinking this and we're celebrating, and you know what? We don't like what's happening here. It's not going to be what we expected. We're very concerned at this point. In terms of, I see rushed writing, and, you know, these characters that they build up for so long suddenly disappear, like Jon, like Aya was a faceless assassin. Oh, she killed the Night King, that was it, but then she was done. You know, she got her main event, it was over. She rides off wherever she does. I don't get it. But me and the boys, you know, knew, and the family knew, we're going to need... This is good. White Walker, I recommend it. If you're a drinker, we got to get stronger. We had to go double black, because just with this, what we were anticipating, it just wasn't, you know, this wasn't enough. We killed 2 of these White Walker bottles, and now we got to do this, because, dude, how are they going to end this? Okay, it's only 6 episodes. It's obvious. Daenerys is going to flip out, snap. We're ready. Final episode. Oh, I should say second to last episode. I should say episode 5, right? Forgive me. Episode 5. Okay, sure. Attack. People are being burned alive, walls are being torn down, innocent people are suffering, everything what we expected pretty much to make Daenerys the Mad Queen, which I thought maybe, I would have liked a bit more of a build-up to make her, you know, losing people close to her and losing the dragon, I get it. That can make anybody snap. But I would have pushed to maybe 1 or 2 more episodes to make her really go off the deep end, where, you know, but I mean, the way they did it was actually, it did kind of work, because me personally, when it came down to it, and Daenerys attacks everything, and then, you know, the city's being destroyed, which Tyrion predicted, she will destroy the city, burn it to ashes, you know, whatever it was, 11 minutes, was it, or 9 minutes, I forgot, it was a long suffering, people suffering, Arya doesn't know what to do, Jon doesn't know what to do, Cersei's running for her life, you know, that guy in the Hound, another character to kind of build up, kind of like got the fill-in match with him and his brother, you know, and they have a fight that I didn't care for. I know his brother, you know, was the big bad, you know, and unbeatable force, and whatever you want to call him. They have a fight, the Hound's getting his ass whipped, and they're fighting, and they fall off a cliff with the dragon, you know, going crazy, and Daenerys going crazy. They fall. That was it. I guess that was their scaffold match, because they just fell and you didn't see them again. See, me, everything, I'm a big wrestling fan, I'm a wrestling mark, so if I use wrestling terms, you may or may not understand them. Feel free to ask me what they mean, write me personally, message me, whatever. I'll answer all your questions. Yeah. Wrestling's my hobby, so. So you got the scaffold match and it was over, right? Okay. Cersei's terrified, you know. Jaime did Brienne dirty. They had their special moment. I was happy for them. He knighted Brienne a few nights before. He leaves her. Okay. His Cersei is apparently the love of his life. All right, that's the writing. I don't agree, but it's not my place to say anything. That's just how it goes, man. That's the story. He finds her, and Jaime's trying to save Cersei, and the city's being burned alive, and they get buried in the rubble. So after all that, after all the buildup of Cersei did, murdering people and making threats and executing people, after that, you're gonna make her run away with her brother and be buried in the rubble? It's like when the WWE writers don't have something for anything, for somebody, like they don't got nothing for EC3, and he's just sitting there in the background doing whatever, and they don't got nothing for what's that, Mojo Rawley. He's just sitting there. You have nothing. Emmy-winning writers. I would have actually loved a little more extension to that. I would have loved to see Cersei and Jaime escape together, and either Brienne catches up and kills Cersei, because maybe you could see Cersei took away her man, or Arya, the faceless one, takes them both out, which I was kind of hoping for. Because everybody thought Jaime would take out Cersei because of what she did and went back on her word. I kind of knew that Jaime wasn't going to take out Cersei. I kind of knew that wasn't going to happen. I kind of knew, and I was telling my friends that he's probably going to save her and try to get her out of there, and either they'll make it or they won't. They get buried in the rubble, and we get the closure. Tyrion finds his brother and sister dead, buried under all the rubble after all the attacks happen. And, Peter Dinklage is an awesome actor. I've been following him for years. He's phenomenal. I saw him one time downtown Brooklyn. I think he lives nearby. I'm telling you guys, I saw him walking. I was working. I couldn't really bother him. And people started following him. It's Tyrion Lannister. And they started following him. And he was cool. He took pictures and signed some autographs. I was working. I was on the clock. Couldn't do anything. But as far as I know, he lives nearby, either by downtown. And he's from Jersey, right? So he lives downtown somewhere with his family. He's got a wife and kids. I know that. So Peter Dinklage, God bless you, man. You're awesome. And Tyrion Lannister is probably my favorite character next to, well, Jon Snow. Even though, it's not Kit Harington's fault that the writing went the way it did. I don't blame you guys. You guys are awesome actors. Macy Williams, Aya, you did your thing. You got the Night King. God bless you as well. Sophie Turner's Jean Grey. And Macy Williams is going to be Wolfsbane in the New Mutants coming out in the theaters this year, I think. So, Miss Williams, I look forward to seeing you play Wolfsbane. It's going to be a lot of fun, and at least you guys get to move on. As far as this whole episode 8 thing, so she snaps. Jon knows what he has to do. Tyrion pretty much convinces him what he has to do. So it's like, I love you, and Jon kills her, and Drogon flips out, and he burns the throne down, melts it, and okay, well, what I didn't get, which blew my mind, it's not the actor's fault. Even Emilia Clarke is a great actor too. You guys did a great job. You have a contract, you follow the script. I'm going to stick with my guns. I could have easily, Daenerys flipping out. Honestly, if they wanted to, they could have made a mini-season. They could have made like a 4-episode season. You made 6, why not 4? And they could have made Daenerys build up more and be more ruthless because she wanted to take over the world. I wouldn't have minded to see that. I would have pushed one more season to make Daenerys the main the bad woman, as it were, the villainess, as it were. That would have worked, I think. And then Jon would make the decision, or Tyrion, or maybe Arya would have got her. I don't know. It didn't go that way. They could have easily, and so easily, done that. So he kills her, and Drogon snaps. He burns down the throne. He takes the body and flies away. Something, okay, so Jon didn't want to do it, but he took her out. She's done. It's over. Like the Undertaker, done. The body's gone. There is no evidence, and except for Drogon, nobody saw anything. Jon can take over. And I know Jon always said he doesn't want to be. He wants to be a humble guy. He's no leader, and I remember Jon saying all that. Which is fine. He's locked up. Tyrion's locked up. There's fire everywhere. There's no more throne. The Iron Throne was pointless. Boom, gone. And that's why we were afraid. So I hit that double black. We hit the hard stuff. Yeah, so I could see why myself and a lot of fans were disappointed. I could definitely see it, and it was very anticlimactic. But the one thing that really kind of bothered me, what was up with that council at the end? So Tyrion's being judged by these I didn't. I was looking at it and I actually had to write this down. Okay, so here we go. We have this council, right? I'm gonna call it the Jobber Council. The Jobber Council. Jobber means a fall guy, but see, right here I'm gonna quote the late great. If Bobby the Brain Heenan, God rest his soul, if Bobby the Brain Heenan, one of the greatest wrestling managers of all time, was still alive, he would be in his Beverly Hills home with $1,000 steak and a $2,000 bottle of wine, aged 100 years, whatever, looking at this eating and be like, what are these Hammerneggers doing here? Who are these people? What am I looking at? These people are the fate of Westeros? And I had to write this down. So I have the Hammerneggers, right? So Robin Aaron. Wasn't he like the milk guy or something? Right? I couldn't remember. I had to write this down. Check this out. Then we have John Royce. Tricked by Littlefinger and Sansa to be a fool and do dumb things. Edmund Tully. What? Okay. Okay. Sam, and look, I like Sam, but he abandoned the Night's Watch, but now he's a leader, right? Bran and Arya just bodies to this point. I mean, then you got Sir Davos and Sir Brienne, not leaders or anything, they're just knights, so what are they doing there? No offense to them, I'm just saying. And the King of Dorne doesn't care. Then you got Jara, who I don't even know where he came from, and what else did I write here? Yeah, and they're going to decide. I had to write that down. As I looked at this replay on my on demand, and I'm like, Hammerneggers. You know, and I'm not nothing against Brienne and nothing against Sam, but Sam did abandon the Night's Watch, and Brienne is a knight, but she always says she's not a leader. So these people are deciding the fate of Westeros, and all the build-up. Jon doesn't want to be a leader. Okay, maybe Sansa or Arya will take it. But Tyrion is there, and you're judging me, and he says, that's just Bran. Bran can tell a very good story. And, okay, Bran is the three-eyed raven, and I'm not against him, but aside from the powers and a few visions and the dialogue he had, with all due respect, I wouldn't have made him king of anything. Sansa did become queen, which is fine. They're going to stand their own. They're separate, that's fine. I knew she wouldn't be queen, but I thought, I would think Tyrion would demand Jon Snow be the leader. People look up to him. No, yeah, so Bran is the king, and he makes Tyrion his hand, which is cool. And all this, Jon is saying goodbye to his sisters, and then Sansa is, oh, I wish there was another way. Yeah, another way. Like I said, at this point, with all due respect to the writers, rushed, a little sloppy, yeah, season 8 was very underwhelming, and then Jon goes back to the Night's Watch that pretty much have nothing to do, literally nothing to do. And that's it. They have one last meeting with Tyrion and the crew, and Brienne and them have one last meeting. Roll the credits, thanks for watching, whatever. I can honestly see why people were so disappointed in this. Like I said, I could have easily spun Daenerys' storyline into a whole other season, or at least 3 or 4 more episodes, to make it really go nuts. And then they have to see, I would have made it so Westeros and the Unsullied, these guys, they're going to follow her, but people have no choice but to make Jon Snow the rightful king. That's just me. That's how I would have done it. Or I would have made Jon Snow king anyway. But now, I wish there was another way. It's kind of jobbing him out. He went from the main event guy, highlighting to main eventing WrestleMania, to doing Sunday Night Heat. And nobody's watching. Goes to the Night's Watch with his boy, and that's it. They're riding off to do, I don't know, grow crops or something. I don't know. Like, I know HBO wanted it done. I guess HBO didn't want to front up the budget. Understandable. And I know these writers are in Disney now. I forgot their names. I think the 2 writers are actually in Disney, if I'm not mistaken, right? Yeah, Disney bought them out. I don't know if that had anything to do with it. Do I have their names written down here? I thought I made a note of the writers, because I know these 2 guys that were like the head were the main writers. Maybe I didn't write it down. No, I guess not. Okay. Oh yeah, I don't have their names. I didn't want to call them out. That's probably why, but I did. Yeah, HBO apparently did not want to fund Game of Thrones anymore. The writers were tired of winging it and went to Disney for the Star Wars series. So I didn't write their names down out of respect for them. They have a job to do. You're writers, you get a better offer, you're going to go. Right now with WWE and Impact, people running the AEW, it's a better offer, you're going. You want to be happy, I get it. Star Wars, Disney movies, well, I'm just going to say nothing will beat the original three. The middle three, I'll say. Episodes 4, 5, and 6. Nothing will beat those, in my opinion. Alright, so this is a pretty long video. Hope I didn't bore you too badly. You know, overall, the whole Game of Thrones thing, after all that hype, was disappointing. You know, I'm still trying to get over Arya as an explorer now. Arya became Dora the Explorer. I don't get it. After being this warrior faceless, I don't get any of that. We had these to help out. Yeah, I recommend the White Walker. It's really good. I wouldn't drink it cold. They say chill it. You know, I wouldn't drink it cold, because if you drink this cold, it takes away the vanilla sugary flavor. So let's drink it warm. You get the vanilla sugary taste out of it. And Double Blast, you're strong as hell. So I'm not sure how long this video ran. Maybe close to a half hour. I gotta look at the time. So if you sat through the whole thing, thank you very much. Thanks for spending time with me. And overall, Game of Thrones Season 8 was disappointing. It's a shame, and I'm afraid now with Supernatural, my favorite show now, Supernatural, ending this coming year, and Arrow too. I'm hoping they could do a bit of a better job of ending those. You know, these are shows I followed since day one. Arrow for 8 years, and Supernatural for 15 years. I'm going to miss those shows. I hope they go out nice, you know? I do. Alright guys, so any comments, feel free to sound off below. Feel free to hit me up. If I missed anything, tell me. If I was inaccurate in names, feel free to make fun of me. I'm alright with that. Good night, guys.